Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's card making video, I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks for hot foiling. Sometimes when you use larger plates with more surface area when glimmer hot foiling, you can have some areas that don't foil very good. So I am going to share with you some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. This is the glimmer plate that I will be using today. It's the Glimmer Kit of the month for June 2021 from Spellbinder's Sweet and Snarky Birthday Sentiments. I am going through my basket of backgrounds that I have made and saved. They're all A2 size roughly, and I had some really fun things in here from stamped backgrounds, hot foiled backgrounds, gel press, what else? Watercolor, shaving cream. So I just went through and picked out some that spoke to me today. And once I found a color scheme that I really liked, I tried to match that and kind of go with a color theme for all 5 of my cards today. So I will show you here all the ones that I picked out. I kind of picked out more than I needed, and then I went back and narrowed it down. So here are the backgrounds that I chose. There's a good mix here of hot foiled, there's some stamped ones there, there's gel press backgrounds, there's the shaving cream and watercolor backgrounds. So here are the 5 that I chose: shaving cream and watercolor. So these are the ones I'm going to use. I actually do end up changing 2 of them still. I have some already made card bases that are A2 size from the Spellbinder shop. You can buy them like this with envelopes, and that makes creating a stash of cards much quicker when you don't have to cut those down and they're ready to go for you. So here I switched out my watercolor background from the rainbow one to this ombre, and then I went with a lighter pink on my shaving cream background. So now what I'm doing is looking at each of my cards and their backgrounds and deciding what I want to do. So what color do I want to foil my sentiments on? What sentiment do I want to use with the happy birthday? Because there are 6 sentiments, sub-sentiments, that go with the happy birthday from this set. So I'm just deciding that, and it kind of helps me to lay the big happy birthday on the card to get a feel for how it could look, and then I can decide colors of cardstock, pick them all out at once, and do my glimmer hot foiling all at once, which is my first tip. I like to just get out my machine, get out my foils, and do all of the glimmer hot foiling at once. My next trick is to use this quick trimmer from Spellbinders. You can see here it has a self-healing mat, it has a guide, and it has cutting blades. You just run your blade down that guide and cut a piece that's perfect size for your plate. Here I'm going to cut 5 strips for my skinny sentiments, and I can make these, they're about a 1/2 inch wide. I can make all 5 of them at once. All my foil is now cut and ready to go. This does take a little bit of planning, but easy to get out if you needed some more. Okay, so now I'm taking my pink cardstock, I'm laying my foil pretty side up, and my plate with the rigid side down. I'm taping that into place. I have my glimmer hot foil system over on the side that's been heating up. I put the plate on so that the plate is touching the hot part, upside down, so to speak. Press the timer, put on your top plates, and then when you remove it, I found putting your 2 thumbs on the corner, pulling it back towards you was the best way to remove it. When you roll it through, my tip is to go very slow. Otherwise, your plate can jump, jiggle, and it can actually do some excess foiling. I removed that with the magnetic tool that now comes with the Glimmer Hot Foil system. It's a great tool. So now I want you to look at this closely. There are areas here that are not 100% foiled. I always have a harder time with these more bold plates and colored cardstock. So I'm going to show you a few things that you can do. And why I'm showing you a few things and not going directly to the thing that works best for my system is you really have to find what works best for you. So tip number 2 is to use a cardstock shim. Make it a little bit thicker. Now while that's heating up, you can go ahead and die cut out your other things. So this is going to help move through the process quicker. Next tip is do not let the tape touch the hot foiling when sticking your die down. Otherwise, it can remove some of your foiling, and that's not cute. So watch out for that tape. Next, I am running through this piece right here that has the shim. So this is the first time I'm showing the use of the shim. And I've used this one a lot, this cardstock shim. I could probably put another one in. It's probably smashed a little bit. Yeah, maybe lost some of its thickness if that can happen. All right, so here, let's take a look at that on this darker pink cardstock. And it is maybe a tiny bit better. Okay, so now we're going to do this again, also on another piece of colored cardstock. And when I put this one on, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to use that shim. I already know that I kind of liked that with my setup. This time I'm going to roll it all the way through, and then here's the tip or the trick. You want to roll it back. Now always make sure you're rolling very slowly, that you're not getting like a speed bump kind of thing going on. And then when I remove this, you can see that it actually did make a difference. It helped lessen the amount where there was missing foiling. All right, the next tip is the smoother the better. White cardstock is always a little bit smoother than colored cardstock, and it hot foils better. There are still some white cardstocks I find that will have the missing areas, but overall, as a general rule, I say that white cardstock is a little bit easier to hot foil on for that really solid, good coverage. And I did all the things. I had the shim, I rolled it forward, and I rolled it back. So now let's take a look and see what it looks like with the Glimmer hot foil on white cardstock. By the way, I am using Aura foil, which came with the Glimmer hot foil set of the month. It's one of my favorites. All right, so now you can see here when I removed the plates, I redid my light pink one and I rolled it through at an angle. So before I had it going very horizontal. No, vertical. It was very vertical. Then I just moved it a little bit so it went through at an angle but more horizontal, and it foiled so much better. So I know that's what works best with my machine. Horizontal, shim, and roll it forward, roll it back. Now here's a little fun fact. Smaller dies, or plates, I'm sorry, foil better. They just have less surface area to cover, and so they always come out much better even on colored cardstock. So here you can see my little sentiments that I've die cut out and I'm going to use on my cards, even on the white. It's just as good on the white as it is on the colored cardstock. So the moral of the story is you need to get to know your setup. You may not need a shim. You might need two shims. It might not work for you to roll forward and roll back. It might work best for you to have your plate at an angle. So figure that out. All right, so let's move on to making these into a set of cards. I have glued down my watercolor background, somehow missed the part where I stuck the other things on, so I'm cutting to a picture of that, but I popped up the sentiment and glued on the sub-sentiment. All right, so for card number 2, I am using this hand-stamped background. It's a marbled Turnabout stamp from Concord and Ninth. And then I am putting my sentiment on with foam squares, as I'm doing with all the sentiments on all of the cards. And then the sub-sentiment is getting glued down. And they have some really cute sentiments in this one. This one says, "From afar, you look 21." I feel like somebody would send that to me. I'm always getting told I look younger than I actually am. So there's my card for that marbled stamped background. Now I have a Glimmer hot foiled background. This is one of my favorite Glimmer hot foil plates. I have a video on this plate. I'm going to put it in the top right corner right now so you can click over and watch that as well. So popping up this orange sentiment that says happy birthday and adding the sub-sentiment that says, "I'm glad you were born." Isn't that sweet? All right, so there it is, all done. And then we're going to move on to the gel press background. I love combining gel press and Glimmer hot foil. I will have a playlist at the end of my gel press videos, and you can check those out if you want more information about that. And then I'm adding this orange sentiment. So originally in my plan with my little sticky notes, I was going to do the sub sentiment for this one in yellow, but I really felt like orange was the better choice. So I did change that up, but all the rest I kept the same. And that one says, I remembered. So here's my shaving cream background. I do have a video on making shaving cream backgrounds too. If you've never heard of that and you want to check it out, you can search my videos on my channel. So now I am adding, sorry to hear you're old. I think it's funny. So there we have it. I put that one in an angle for something fun, and let's check out all 5 of the cards with my tips and tricks for hot foiling. I'm going to add some bling to these. This is the crystal gem mix, and these gems that I'm choosing, I lost that one. These gems that I'm choosing have a little bit of an iridescent shine when you turn it in the light, just like this aura foil that I used today. When you turn it in the light, you can see a bit of a rainbow in it. I love it. Aura foil is definitely one of my absolute favorites. I also love Opal, which is like a clear foil with a rainbow tint to it. It's Opal. That's what it is. It's super cool. Anyways, I will link that for you below, as well as the aura foil. And you can just watch me add all these gems on. I think that's what made the cards. They just needed that pop of bling, except the one that is hot foiled, this one. I just felt like it would be too much if I added to that one, so I just left it. It was shiny enough as it was. So here you can see all 5 of the cards. If you are new to Glimmer hot foiling, if you have any questions, make sure you let me know in the comments below. I am here to help. And I also have plenty other videos of Glimmer hot foiling. I'll put them in the top right corner right now, so you can check that out. And if you need more inspiration, you can find it there. All right, I thank you so much for stopping by and watching today's video. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, because I do have new videos several times a week, and if you ring the bell, then YouTube will let you know next time I upload a video. I'll see you all on the next one. Happy stamping! Bye!